Captain's log, stardate 6942.0. We have encountered an alien vessel of unknown origin. All attempts to make contact have been met with a strange, pre-recorded response, but we must keep trying. Number 1, hail the craft again.
Aye, sir.
Hello, and welcome to Domination. Please remember, we mean you no harm. We intend only to spread fun. Lower your shields. Resistance is futile.
What's up, Domination? It's me, Jim L.
Jim L. Hello, everyone. It's me, the Can of Steel.
I really thought you would have been Ken L.
That was actually my thought.
Then we could have had Jim L and Ken L.
Jim L and Ken L. Oh, Ken L. Ken L's good. It's like, like the dog's Ken L.
Yeah, and then you could have ML, but that doesn't quite work as well.
Sounds like you're just saying the alphabet incorrectly.
Yeah.
And it's me, the future Mrs. Henry Cavill.
Not current.
You said that a little too sheepishly for me to think that you actually think that seriously,
The
Emma.
future Mrs. Henry Cavill.
There we
go. Is that better? There's a little bit of a ring to it at the end too.
I'm glad we got another take on that one.
Look, I figured that when Henry and I can't go down that path. I was just going to get too deep into that.
You're on first name terms now, are you?
Me and Henry, yeah.
Yeah.
Henry and I.
Okay. It's Mr.
Better.
Cavill to you, thank you.
I mean, I tell people about, my relationship with Katsuna, so I don't know why you're not telling people about your relationship with Henry. Well, Mr. Cavill to me, I'm not too close with him.
So tonight we're talking about Men of Steel, but I do have a couple pieces of follow-up to go through before we get into the show proper. So I've got two emails to read out on the show, and thank you very much for emailing in. So the first one, we got this after we recorded the last episode, but before we released the last episode, if that makes any sense.
Yes.
And it says, "Hi all, just noting that there was no point to, nor need to hold episodes dedicated to finding a winner of the seasons that tied. You should have awarded the wins to Jim's dad, the true and rightful winner."
Oh my God.
Yes. I think I can tell who this email is from.
Sake.
We are very sorry that Emma is trying to dethrone him when she is only in second place. Jim's dad for gold.
Jesus Christ.
Please put Jim's dad on an episode. Kind regards, Jim's dad's fan club manager.
Woo!
Thank you again for emailing in Jim's dad's fan club manager. I will say the wheels are turning to get that happening. That will happen a little bit later in the season. I'm probably going to do the interview. I'm going to have Dad on in an interview that I'll do without Ken and Emma just so as not to overwhelm him.
I also am pretty sure your dad would not remember me. I've met him multiple times, but I don't think he remembers me.
He remembers me. I'm his favorite.
He refers to you as Kenny.
Yeah.
Oh, and the second email that I should read out. Stop me if you sense a theme coming on here. This is from Jim's Dad's Fan Club at Outlook.com.
Whoa, I said there's a theme.
Jesus.
Sorry. And we received this one, I think, the day after we released the last episode. Yeah, the day after.
The Terminator episode?
Yeah, after we released the Terminator episode, it says, "Hi all, as the manager of Jim's Dad's fan club, I'm very upset that you made merchandise that was not approved by the club and are using our name. Please check all future merchandise with the club for approval. Please stop asking people to join your fake club when we have a proper email address and a club. Kind regards, Jim's Dad's fan club manager." And you know what? Fair cop, Jim's Dad's fan club manager.
No, this is bullshit.
No. If they've got, fair cop, if they've gone to all the effort to set up an email address, it's definitely legit.
Yep.
They have way too much time on their hands. That's all I can say. We're probably going to get another bloody aggressive email about how disrespectful Emma is. But
Yeah.
look,
They're going to browbeat you into submission, Emma.
Yeah, 100%. They don't know where I live, so it's okay. And I don't work there anymore. But okay, cool. Yep.
Thank you again, Jim's Dad's fan club manager.
I encourage you to send hate mail to our podcast email.
Yeah, the hate only makes Emma stronger.
That's why I'm encouraging it. If it was to me, I'd be like, please don't hate me. But Emma can take it. Emma's a strong lady.
Strong, independent woman.
Not very independent because she's Mrs. Cavill.
Sorry, what?
So
No, he needs me. I don't need him.
it's more of an interdependence thing, that kind of, unhealthy relationship
look,
that
I feel
keeps
like
you both
Henry and
going.
I, we're a good partnership, We don't need each other. Oh, God, I can't get down. I start going down the path and I'm like, oh, this would be funny. And then I'm like, no. I feel like this is just going to turn into super.
Lean into it. Lean into the stalkerdom, Emma.
But if Henry and I ever do get together, he's going to listen to this, and I just don't know whether he's going to find it endearing or be like, "Oh, this is too set up."
You have such high hopes here, Emma. Godspeed.
Look, the reason that Henry and I aren't together currently is because we've never met.
That's it.
That's true.
That's it.
Okay, fair enough.
That's it.
Just backing up to that email for a second.
Oh yeah, back to that. Yeah.
That does remind me, shameless plug for our merch again. Thank you for bringing that up, Jim's Dad's Fan Club manager. And just an apology again to Jim's. I've spoken to them indirectly through Ken about this, but I am genuinely sorry about the situation with the magnets in the merch store. I had no idea they were going to cost $31 frickin' dollars. And I'm sorry.
Yeah, look, they're not worth $31.
It's not, like, trust me, like, I like money. It's not worth $31.
Yeah, look, no.
Yes, we wouldn't pay that either.
No, I would not pay $31 for, like, a 5 centimeter cross magnet.
Yep. Have you taken it off the store?
I have taken it off the store. I took it off the day after. You let me know. But yeah, over Christmas, when I probably have some time to my hands, I'll probably look into, like, what other cool merch things I can do.
Yeah, we just need to check out how much things are actually going to cost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
my bad.
Maybe Jim's dad's fan club wants a clock. We don't know this. Maybe they want a clock.
For their clubhouse.
Maybe they do. We don't know.
Oh, a clubhouse?
If they've got a full-on clubhouse, maybe they need a rug.
Some throw rugs and,
some throw rugs, maybe some pillows.
A nice caftan and some pillows, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I can provide advice, like, for interior design, because I've seen Jim's dad's man cave. And it's amazing.
Oh, I tell you what, a fucking tacky as balls Jim's Dad's Fan Club clock would go a treat in my dad's man cave.
It really would.
So good. So good. And it's not even just some random gym. Like, it's his actual gym.
I have been looking for a Christmas present for him.
There you go. I keep telling you about these clocks. I don't know why.
Again, we spoke about this before we started recording. I don't really feel like embezzling my own money and buying my own merch.
Get Liana to buy it. I mean, it's basically the same thing, but sure.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, these clocks are suitable for everyone and everyone's dads.
I mean, not everyone's dad. I don't know if my dad wants one.
Stop plugging the clocks. We don't have clocks to sell.
Do we get rid of the
Make clocks happen.
They're like $60 before shipping.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
maybe
I don't
not.
know why. I think it was just because when we were first talking about merch, somebody threw out clock and it's just stuck in my head.
I'm pretty sure someone said that.
I think I threw it out because, like, all of the designs I've made so far are all that kind of circular design. And I thought, like, oh yeah, clock.
Hey, clocks can be different
that's right. Because I do remember we were talking about, like, coasters and mugs and clocks, and they've all got a circular thing going on.
Do you have hexagonal coasters or clocks? Because hexagons are the bestagons.
Hexagons are the bestagons, Ken. Well done. Hang on, I'm going to put a link to that in the show notes.
Anyway, Man of Steel. Oh, man. Look, yeah, I definitely had a lot of thoughts as I was watching this. Some of them probably not. I mean, this isn't really a PG podcast, but...
It's not?
No, the amount of times that we swear on here... Look, I had some thoughts. This is the movie that made me fall in love with Henry Cavill.
This is the movie?
Me too.
June 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was the first movie that, like, I really saw. Now I've seen every single movie that he's ever been in, including, like, the fucking Count of Monte Cristo that I rewatched because I was like, oh my God, are you and Henry Cavill's in this?
Did you go back and watch, like, The Tudors?
Yes, I watched. I didn't go back. I watched The Tudors because Henry was in it. I'm pretty sure it's one of the Hellraiser movies that he's also in it.
Okay.
I think it might be Hellraiser 8.
Oh, okay.
And there's a scene of him getting a blowjob. Look, it's a great film.
Right.
So, yeah, definitely went through a bit of a Henry Cavill phase. Look, I'm still in my Henry Cavill phase.
It's not a phase, Mum.
It's not a phase. It's a lifestyle. But, yeah, no, this was the movie, and I remember seeing it in the movies that kind of put him on the map for me. Probably for a lot of people out there, I think. But rewatching it, I haven't seen it in a couple of years, and rewatching it, I was like, and I watched it with a couple of mates on Sunday night, and it was just a lot of things didn't make sense, but I was just like, just go with it.
Oh, I've got a fucking list of them, mate.
So many things didn't make sense. And, like, actually, as I was looking up for some fun facts and stuff, one of the things that didn't make sense, and we were like, had like this huge big debate about it when we were watching it, is like, it's actually come up when I was doing a bit of research. So that will answer that.
The thing that makes the least sense is that Emma watched Man of Steel with other people in the room.
Yeah.
I felt that was going to be the safest option because then I'd actually be paying attention to what was happening in the movie.
Oh, gotcha.
It was a tactical move.
Oh, you do so much for the podcast. Thank you so much.
Look, I do, and I'm glad it doesn't go unnoticed because I put a lot of effort into this.
Yeah, and I feel like there's an insufficient number of shirtless Henry Cavill scenes for you, even still.
There's only 2. Bullshit.
In your mind, was there like a cool dozen before you rewatched it?
Yeah. I definitely thought there was more, and then I was like, oh, this is bullshit. Although I do like, I can't remember if it's in, is it in Batman vs Superman? Was it when he gets into the bathtub with Lois? That's
but he's fully clothed.
I know he's fully clothed, but it still does it for me, man. Like, it's just, Henry. Anyway, why did we put this movie on the list? Everyone's going to be like, oh, how much does Emma talk here? Can I skip through it?
You really wanted this one on the list. It was the only one you were excited about.
Because it's sci-fi, and I was just like, I'm not excited about any of the other ones we've got on the list. Anyway.
Okay, so in terms of like a recap of the story, I won't spend too much time on the start of the movie. Like, everyone should be familiar with that by now. Like, if you've been living under a rock for the last 90 years, Superman is an alien sent to Earth as a baby to avoid the destruction of his home planet Krypton. Because of the harsh conditions on Krypton, Superman has superpowers on Earth. All right, baseline sorted. Onto the actual plot.
Good one.
Superman is chased to Earth by General Zod, another Kryptonian who tried to overthrow the government and was imprisoned in an alternate dimension just before Krypton was destroyed. Zod avoided the part of Krypton's history where it blew up, but he was freed from his prison in the process. Zod is after something called the Codex, which Superman's father stole, hid with baby Superman, and sent to Earth. The Codex contains the genetic blueprints for the Kryptonian society. Zod intends to turn Earth into a new Krypton by using the Codex to make more Kryptonians and then physically changing the Earth itself to be more like Krypton in a process called terraforming. This would make Earth's gravity much stronger and its atmosphere toxic to humans, killing us all.
No.
Good one, Zod. Cool.
Yeah, thanks,
Yeah, I mean,
Obama.
that's it. Really.
Yeah, that's the plot of this movie. And yet I still have so many questions. So what did you guys like actually think of the movie?
Look, if we put Henry Cavill aside for now, I just had rewatching it. Like, look, it's still an enjoyable movie and I do enjoy it. However, there was a lot of like plot holes and things that just didn't fucking make sense. And it was just like, what is going on? That once you actually pay attention rather than just watching it for, watching's sake. And it was actually good because one of the mates that I was watching it with, we had a good chat around how like the difference, I guess, between DC and Marvel. Marvel, like, they go to great lengths to explain everything as to why this happens and why that happens and how it all comes together. And it makes sense. Obviously, there's a bit of like, what? But it makes sense for the majority. DC is just like, how do we get from A to Z and just fuck everything that happens in between?
Yeah. And like, you know what, like they also do in the Marvel movies? They make sure to make you like understand that this person is a hero. Like, the thing that annoys me about this version of Superman is how anyone is supposed to believe that he's a hero. Like, the only people who see him do any good things are like those couple of military dudes in Smallville. The thing like almost everyone in that universe would know him for would be punching a dude through a city and destroying it in the process.
It's like, who's the good guy?
I know we're just focusing on this movie, but that kind of does get a little bit answered in the next one where he's like not really a hero. And that's the whole reason that fucking Bruce Wayne like comes out and he's like, oh my God, I was in Metropolis at the time and you're a dickhead and I hate you and now we're going to hate each other. But oh my God, our mums have the same name.
Whoa, spoilers.
Did we just become best friends?
That was the dumbest fucking thing in all of fucking cinema.
It really was. Anyway, that's a different movie, but yes, no, I do get you. Yes.
Yeah, Libertarian Superman is super fucking weird.
Libertarian Superman?
You know, like in BioShock, like how everybody is like just out for themselves?
Mm-hmm.
That's a libertarian society.
Oh, okay.
But I don't feel like there was much in this film around him being a hero, though, because pretty much like the first time that they were all aware that he even existed was obviously when Zod came over the TVs and the phones and whatever and was just like, he lives among you. And
it was just like, hey, I'm an alien. I want this dude. Give him to me or I'll destroy all of you. We're like, okay.
I mean, yeah, 100%. You wouldn't.
Take him.
But I don't feel like you saw, like, I do get where you're coming from, but I don't feel like that there was a lot of portraying him as a hero from the people's aspect.
Yeah, but also like just going from like Henry, I don't know whether this is like Henry Cavill's portrayal himself or the way he's written or the way he's directed, but like he acts like it's such a hassle for him to like save people. The best example of this is like that scene in the second one, like Batman v Superman. Where he goes to like the Day of the Dead celebration with like the people with like the skulls painted on the face.
Yeah.
And he's just standing there so sad that he has to save people. And it's like, good God, man. Like
he doesn't want, like he wasn't brought up that way. It was
his dad was stopping him from using his powers
he just wanted to live a quiet life.
Yeah.
He was conditioned to like not want to use his powers. So it's really daddy issues.
He had massive daddy issues, and the world wasn't ready for him.
Yeah,
but Emma
like,
is.
I just don't think he acts very heroic. Like, you know, in like I get the sense from watching this movie that Zack Snyder likes him some Dragon Ball Z. But you know what always happens in Dragon Ball Z? The good guy always insists that they fight outside of the city so as not to hurt people.
Oh, they fucked up their city, man. Like, even when, like, things were, like, done and then all of a sudden Zod comes back and they're, like, fight, you're like, oh, shit. And then they just destroy the city even more. Like, fly away. That actually did my head in. Like, they just wanted to fuck up as much shit as they could have.
Even in the dream sequence, Zod had, like, the consideration to take him out to the farmlands.
Yeah.
In the cornfield.
Yes, in the cornfield.
Even in the second one, they like have to like so heavily call it out when they're like, there's no one around. We're in an abandoned shipping district. There's nobody for miles.
We're not going to hurt anyone.
Yeah.
So many people died. Like,
so many buildings.
So many buildings. So many people
The other weird
died.
thing is that, like, they keep cutting back to that one random intern that we've never seen before. Like, millions of people are dying, and we're supposed to care about this one random bitch that we've never seen before.
Lawrence Fishburne, save me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lawrence Fishburne, save me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't care about her.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah, that was weird.
I don't know.
That was really weird, like, as a film choice.
Yeah. This movie makes me really want to go back and watch, like, the original Christopher Reeve one. Like, I love that movie so much. It's so good.
Oh, man. Yeah, look, I still enjoy it, but it's not, if you actually pay attention to the plot and stuff, like, but if you just sit there as, like, a mindless movie, it's good.
Yeah, it's a look good and feel good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for if you just ignore the millions of people that die, it's a great feel good family film.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, but when, in an ideal world, there were no one in those buildings.
Except for Snyder's, like, Jesus stand-in who, like, is so sad that he has to be a god.
Look, he grew up on the farm, all right? He was always different. He just wanted to do his thing, right?
Yeah.
And he had a fantastic disguise at the end of it. He put on some glasses when he was already in the lift with people and nobody knew who he was. It was great. He did a bang-up job.
To anyone who's interested, there's a YouTube video that I'll recommend. It's like my favorite movie critic. His name is Bob Chipman, and he has this series called Really That Good, where he basically just like spends hours breaking down like the movies that are like actually fantastic. And he has one on the original Superman. And there's a bit that I'll call out here that's really, really good, where he goes through like how impressive Christopher Reeve's acting is when he does the transformation from Clark into Superman in one take. Like,
I can't picture it off the top of my head now.
I don't know how well you know the original Superman movie, but you know that bit where Clark asks Lois out on a date?
Lois.
And
Lois.
he goes over to her house to like pick her up, and he's contemplating revealing himself to be Superman. And he like in one take, Christopher Reeve was able to show like how one person could believe that Clark Kent is not Superman.
Ooh, okay.
I actually don't know if I've seen the original one.
You gotta, my man. You gotta.
Does it have Henry Cavill in it?
No, it doesn't.
Emma's
No,
not
it
going to watch
doesn't, but
it.
it does have Christopher Reeve.
I just don't think that. Yeah, but you know what? He doesn't quite do it for me.
What about George Reeve?
Who's George Reeve?
George Reeve is the guy who played Superman in the 50s TV series.
Jim, like, I haven't seen that either, mate. I tried to watch a movie the other day that was from the 70s, and I got 2 minutes in, and I was like, I can't do it.
Yeah, I sent you to a link.
Oh, wow. Yeah, right.
Oh, wow, okay.
Lois.
Oh, damn, yeah.
He did that in like one go.
Oh, wow, damn, okay. So posture change, glasses. All right.
I'm
Time
gonna
to,
rewatch
Yep, okay, I'm going to try and pick that up and use that to pick up girls.
Yeah. Anyway, apart from the like, can you read my mind scene and the like Lex Luthor's plan is bullshit, like in the movie. Like his plan is to like nuke California off. So his plan is to like hit the San Andreas Fault with nuclear weapons so that it will fall into the ocean. And he's bought up all of the land on the other side of the San Andreas Fault so he can sell it for money when it becomes beachside property.
Wow. Damn. That's a very capitalist plan.
Yeah, it's great.
What? Destroy the lives of so many people just to make some money off some beachside properties. Terrible.
Oh, and he also plans to nuke Hackensack, New Jersey, so that Superman has to choose between saving both places at the same time.
Oh, okay. I remember you mentioned that somewhere in another episode.
Yeah, great. Anyway, I have what I'm calling a list of mostly unanswerable rhetorical questions here, if you guys are interested in.
Sure.
I will try to answer them to the best of my ability.
I was going to say, I cannot promise that I won't answer them.
I'm just going to read through them without stopping for answers.
Okay, go for it. I will try my best to be quiet.
Question 1. What is with the weird little dildo rockets that they put Zod's crew into at the beginning of the movie?
Yes.
Question 2. Zod is released from the Phantom Zone as Krypton is destroyed. Does that mean that all of the other prisoners in the Phantom Zone are released at the same time? If so, how have they not used that for anything yet? Question 3. Ignoring how petty it was, how on God's green earth did nobody hear Clark impale that dude's truck on the logs? Question 4. What did that latex bodysuit smell like at the end of the day? Question 5. I honestly don't get Jonathan's thought process when he goes back to the car to save the dog. Like, I get that he doesn't want people to see Clark do something, but Clark could just like let the tornado yeet him away. Question 6. Why does Zod want to take Lois Lane aboard the ship? What possible purpose could he have for her? Question 7. When they get to Zod's ship, Clark hands Lois the Kryptonian key. Where was he holding that? Nature's pocket? Question 8. When Superman is flying away from the black hole he used to destroy Zod's ship, he looks like he's trying as hard as he can to fly away from it. Even though he looks stationary, because it's a black hole, that means he's accelerating as fast as he can. We saw him fly to the Indian Ocean in a couple of minutes, so how is Lois not crushed by Newton's third law? Question 9. What does Emma think of his constipation face when he's trying to destroy the world engine? And question 10. Do you think the irony of Superman being an illegal alien is lost on the Americans?
Can I just say, I had a lot of the same thoughts.
Yep.
Definitely that dildo thing, 100%. I think everybody that was in the room with me watching, we all just kind of looked at each other and go, are they in dildos? Yeah, look. Yes. The Phantom Zone, like that does make you do make a good point with that. And I guess the
other prisoners would be out because they all got preserved for like so many years, right? Because that's the whole point of it, the Phantom Zone. You can survive there for a long time.
Yeah, because they had been sent away for 300 years. But I guess the justification or the thing is that it'd only be potentially the people that Krypton have put away, and maybe they didn't have anybody away at the time. Yeah. Potentially.
Anyway, like I said, mostly unanswerable rhetorical questions.
Yes. And I guess one of them wasn't rhetorical, and Emma likes all the faces that Henry Cavill pulls.
How's your watch face going, by the way?
It's great.
So for the listeners' benefit, I made Emma a custom Henry Cavill watch face for her Apple Watch, and I'll put a link to that in the show notes if anybody's interested in that.
I'm flicking through them now. It's pretty great. Oh, he just winked at me. Oh, Henry. Yes. Cool. So I guess we can get on to because you explained what Zod's plan was earlier. Mm-hmm. What do you guys rate it? What did you think?
I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good plan. Yeah. Good plan. Yep. It was smart. Filled with a lot of technology that they scoured from the outpost. They were very, very resourceful, and I think there was a lot of order in what Zod wanted in the end.
Yeah, super resourceful. Yep. Like he just picks up bits that he finds along the way, and he's like, I guess we can destroy this planet now. Rad.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, exactly. And the only problem was that it was Superman was the problem. Like they were basically invincible on Earth, bar Superman, and he was basically a freak accident. Like, what are the chances of a dude who grew up in an alien planet and turned out to be so strong and managed to to pull this plan all apart. That was just very, very unfortunate for them.
They knew he was there because that was the whole thing about it.
They knew he was there, but I take your point that like they're all basically gods. Like it's very hard to stop them. It was basically a fluke that they happened to have something that could make a black hole on hand.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, the baby pod.
Do you know what though? What I didn't get was, and maybe it was like a self-preservation thing or whatever, but like when the military guys were firing their weapons at them and nothing was happening, I was like, what? Stop shooting.
Why bother?
What? Just stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
My favorite bit was when like the Law and Order guy, I can't remember his name.
Elliot
who I'm
Stabler.
talking about. Yeah, Elliot Stabler has just like unloaded like both like a full clip of his machine gun and a full clip of his pistol into this woman and like onto her face and like does nothing. And then he pulls out his knife like, all right, let's go, bitch.
Yeah. And then you can see when Superman comes in, he's just probably just like, oh, fuck, thank God. I definitely nearly died. And then the point was, right, because then all of a sudden he's like bloody flying the ship. And it's like, why is it, he's like a fucking commander or whatever. Like he's a bloody command. Why is he flying the ship?
I get that they do it so that like the audience understands who that person is, but like he was leading that expedition to the Arctic Circle, and then he was leading the FBI raid that arrested Lois Lane, and then he was leading the interrogation of Superman, and then he was leading
and he's only a bloody general. Like he's not even that important. Yeah, I had a lot of questions about that. Like, how important is this one guy?
So this guy's basically, if everyone's resume was actually what they said they did, then he's this guy.
Yeah. So what do you rate Zod's plan, Emma?
You know what? I actually think it wasn't a bad plan. I give it an 8 as well. Potentially a 9.
It was a very good plan.
I think I'm going to give it a 9. Like, I think it actually was a good plan overall.
Yeah. The only thing that brought it down for me was the fact that they didn't take out Superman when they had the chance. Like they could have neutralized him when he was like vulnerable on the ship, but they didn't. So that's what brought it down for me.
Yep. And there's one other thing which is part of my plan, which they definitely fucked up on. But other than that, it was a pretty good plan.
Fair enough. Okay. Well done, Zod.
Good work, Zod.
You're not attractive, but you had a bloody good plan.
Are you going with 9, Emma?
Yeah.
Well done. It's a 25 out of 30.
Hey.
Nice. Oh, wow.
That might just win him the season.
Yeah.
Well done,
That's like Jafar level.
All right. Emma, tell us.
Fun facts.
Tell us, Emma.
Fun facts with Emma.
Oh. I've also split up my fun facts tonight. So, yes, it's in fun facts about Henry and then random ones about the movie. They are all about the movie, don't worry. It's not just like, did you know he was born? It's not that, don't worry.
I also have 2 categories here for my fun facts. I have one called fun facts and then one called Superman fun facts off the top of Jim's head.
Okay, of course
nice.
you do. So, number 1. Okay, so Henry had refused to take steroids to muscle up for the role. He also refused any digital touch-ups or enhancements to his body in his shirtless scenes. So for this, he actually had a special 4-month training regimen to get the appropriate physique, which, let's be real, it was pretty appropriate.
Wow, 4 months.
Yeah, so he gained, so it was like this is every day. So he gained weight by drinking 5 1,000-calorie protein shakes a day. And then he did like cardio workouts to burn away the fat and build muscle. And then he underwent a grueling 2-hour workout to build up his muscles and abdomen every day for 4 months.
Fuck that.
For the 6 weeks leading up to just before filming the shirtless scenes, his calorie intake went from 5,000 to 1,500 and he hit 7% body fat. And this is all for because he really wanted it to be legitimate for the shirtless scenes. So after he finished his shirtless scenes, Snyder gave him a tub of ice cream and a pizza to celebrate.
Man, fuck all of that. Like, I didn't have an afternoon snack yesterday and I got all handshaky.
Had a fucking bowl of ice cream as we started this podcast.
Yeah.
But also, I very much, commend that commitment. I know if I was in his position, I would be like, give me all of the digital magic you possibly can. Like, Jimmy Boy needs all the help he can here.
Yeah. But, I also do feel, when you, it's also a money thing, right? I can't afford a personal trainer or somebody to make my meals and do all that shit for me. So I do the cheap and easy.
Make his meals. All he did was 5 protein shakes a day.
So many protein.
Yeah, I can't
so
live like
much
that.
protein. Fuck that.
Oh, God.
But also, if you knew that you were the world was going to be looking at you shirtless, you'd probably be and you were getting paid for it too. He'd
Yeah.
probably be a little bit more. Anyway,
I'd rather look like the CGI Terminator than have to go through that.
I can't remember if I
Alright.
brought this up on the pod before. You know the Zac Efron Baywatch movie? Apparently he, because he's like very muscular in the shirtless scene there.
it's actually super gross. Yep.
Yeah, he ate so much like chicken in the preparation for that shirtless scene that he had to blend it because his mouth wouldn't move anymore.
I do remember hearing that. Yeah. Oh, so gross. He did not
That's
look
disgusting.
good in that movie.
Yeah, he looked unwell.
It did not look good. Anyway, back to Henry. He has a naturally hairy chest, but he didn't want to shave for the film. Superman is usually depicted with no hair, and I think it's about muscular men are usually hairless. But he brought up the comic Death of Superman as an iconic representation in which he is shown with a hairy chest, and they let him keep it.
I love that he cited precedent.
Yeah, he's like, in this comic book. Which actually kind of leads into this, is because, and this is my fun fact that actually did come out of my head, and I've used it in multiple trivias that I have created in the past, is that he nearly missed a phone call to say that he'd gotten the role because he was busy playing World of Warcraft.
Woo!
So yeah, he a nerd.
Again, this is just more a recommendation for the audience because I know you watched the shit out of this. I encourage everyone to watch an Instagram video that Henry Cavill put up where he built his new gaming PC to the tune of Barry White music.
Oh man,
it is the most incredibly sexual thing that you'll
so
see all
good.
year.
Like as he's got the screwdriver and it is like, oh yep.
Oh wow,
That's a
you
good-
watched it. Nice.
Of course, of course I've watched it. So the filmmakers had initially outfitted Henry in the Superman, the 1978 costume to see how well he fit the role. Despite the outfit bearing lighter blue colour and red trunks and everything, nobody laughed at him and they were like, mate, you've got it. You're right
Nice.
for this role. And well, if we stay on the costume, so the costume designer said that while the Superman suit emphasized and highlighted his muscular physique, for the scenes where he was playing Clark Kent, they really tried to hide this, and so they gave him a lot of layers and baggy clothing. So the only so that he could blend in more. And the only one scene where he's wearing a tight t-shirt is when he's with his mum, and obviously she already knows who he is, so it was fine.
While we're on the topic of the costume,
Yes,
I don't know whether this says more about me than it does about anything else. But like this movie version of Superman doesn't have like the red undies over the top of the top of the suit anymore.
yeah,
Yep.
they wanted to,
Yeah,
but they didn't
like,
in the end because they thought it just didn't suit.
I don't know whether this says more about me, but I find like my eyes even more drawn to Henry's crotch now that they've taken the red undies off. Like it makes his bulge even more pronounced somehow.
Yeah, it does. Because he's in a bloody skin tight suit. Of course, that's where you look.
I don't like the fact that they got around the like Superman doesn't wear his undies on the outside by saying that like the Superman suit is the undergarment for the Kryptonian battle suits. Like I get that the undies on the outside of the suit is meant to evoke that image of like the early 20th century strongman, and those don't really exist anymore. But like it's such an iconic part of the character design.
Oh, as in like the strongman, like in bodybuilding competitions who wear like...
It's like the undies on the outside are meant to look like like those old black and white photos that you see of like absurdly like ripped dudes like just lifting things above their heads.
Yep.
And the reason they did that is they would put undies over their tights because tights of the time were very prone to ripping and you didn't want your dick flipping out
Maybe
when you
did.
were like lifting 200 kilos above your head.
Maybe you did.
They didn't. Emma wanted it.
No.
Yeah, so the cape and the underwear are meant to make him look like a circus performer so that people understand that he is like very strong.
Yeah, which I get where you're coming from, but at the same time, I think it's
an anachronism.
Yeah, and I feel like you kind of got to drift away from, just because it used to be that doesn't need to be that now, potentially wouldn't have been. I think they're trying to make it more realistic, whereas if you saw some dude flying around with like underwear on the outside, you'd be like, mate, what are you doing? Whereas,
put the pants on.
do you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like they're trying to modernize it. So I get where you're coming from, but I understand why they have shifted away from that.
Yeah.
All right, so back into it. So that's all the Henry ones. So now we'll get on to normal ones. So the film was actually released on the 75th anniversary of Superman in June 2013.
Ooh. Oh, wow.
That's cool.
Ben Affleck actually turned down the opportunity to direct the movie because he didn't feel he was experienced in effect shots enough.
Good call, Ben.
Yeah, good one.
Wait, Ben Affleck's a director?
Yeah.
He's an Oscar-winning director. He won Best Picture.
He's done
I
some
thought
good
it was
stuff,
Batman.
actually. He
He's
can do
both.
both.
Oh.
This is Amy Adams' third time auditioning for Lois Lane. She had first read for Lois in Brett Ratner's abandoned film and then for Superman Returns in 2006, which obviously she did.
She was also in an episode of Smallville.
She was. So if we stick on Superman Returns, both director Bryan Singer and actor Brandon Ruth expressed interest in reprising their positions from Superman Returns. And then obviously when they found out that it wasn't actually going to be a continuation, it was a whole new thing. I think Brandon still wanted to be part of it, but clearly didn't get it. But slight side fun fact was that Henry actually also auditioned for the 2006 movie, which he didn't get, and that was a flop. So that's good.
Yeah.
So this next one, this is the point that I had the thought of this was in terms of his flying and all of that stuff. So when Clark is first learning to fly, he's only able to make a few bounds. In the first few Superman comics in 1938 and 39, he was not able to fly, but could only leap. I think it was like an eighth of a mile for like a high-powered kangaroo. Is the way they describe it.
Buildings at a single bound.
Kangaroo Man.
Yeah, the first cartoons and movies decided that this looked undignified and made him fly, which looks more majestic. So even though the physics give no logical reason for him to have this ability, that's what it is. And I remember...
Oh, yeah. The comics have come up with such bullshit explanations for like how he can fly over the years. It's just like, just don't think about it too hard, guys.
And that was the exact conversation that we had because my friend was like, what the fuck? How was he flying? We had this huge conversation. And then I ended up just being like, mate, just go with it. And then when I read this and I was like, yeah. That's exactly. There's no logical reason, but just go with it.
Just don't
go
with it.
It's DC. Just go with it. So the tornado scene had quite some controversy around it, especially with the National Weather Service, as overpasses are not considered to be safe shelters in the event of a tornado.
Oh,
that's such a fucking pedant thing from the National Weather Service, but I love it.
Yeah, and it was due to the wind funneling effect, increasing the likelihood of being struck by debris. But I think because I started reading into this a little bit more because I was like, what, why do you care? And I actually think it was in the 90s that it actually changed because it used to be that overpasses were considered as a safe space during a tornado.
Oh.
However, there was something that happened, and I can't remember exactly what year, but I believe it was in the 90s that there was some television crew, etc., that took shelter in there, and they all died. And so then they were like, well, we changed our minds. It's no longer considered safe.
Plus, like, I get the point that they're trying to make that, like, they have to, like, reinforce this idea to people that, like, they shouldn't go into an overpass in the middle of a hurricane. But, like, it's fucking Kansas. It's, like, flat as shit. Where else are they supposed to go?
I'm surprised there was an overpass there.
Yeah. What are they overpassing?
Nothing. So the majority of the action scenes actually used a CGI cape for Superman and CGI armor for the other Kryptonians, which I think is funny because imagine it just looks so strange.
Yeah, like if you couldn't tell that like the face shields were like CGI, like come on.
What?
Yeah.
Like if this was news to you, like come on. The cape maybe.
Yeah, the cape, yeah. But I actually remember when Lois is in the ship, in Zod's ship, and she's got her mask on and she's got like her hair in her face. And I was just like, I'm sorry, it's like started to get in her eyes. And I was like, how does she get that out? Like, what? And then all of a sudden it was like back. And I'm like, mate, it was so, that mask is so skin tight. There's no way you would have been able to like flick it out of your face.
Maybe she was wearing it like people are wearing it nowadays, just like with things dangling out.
When they put that little thing on her, they didn't like pull her hair into the thing. So how is that thing making an airtight seal?
It's not.
It's not.
It's CGI.
Again, don't think about it.
Again, I just called out the National Weather Service on pedantry, and here I go.
What else we got? The first cut of the movie was originally 3.5 hours long.
Oh, I already thought this one was a bit too long.
No, I was okay with
it's like
it.
2.5 hours long, isn't it?
Yeah, 2.5.
Although I will say that the sequel was interminably long. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, for sure. So if we want to go back to people being unhappy with things, there was quite a few people, including Christopher Nolan, who was a producer on this, that weren't happy with the scene where Superman kills Zod. They felt it could have been very easily avoided simply by him putting his hand over his eyes.
Yeah.
But one of the co-writers in the end was able to convince Nolan and a few others that were involved that it helped portray, and I guess this is the reasoning for it, that it was meant to portray Superman as an unrefined and inexperienced hero at the point.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the main problem I have with that point in the movie is that, like, you know, that the bit afterwards where he has like real grief that he's had to kill someone.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't really feel earned because, like, the movie hasn't shown us that, like, Superman doesn't kill. Like, he's indirectly killed millions of people.
He's killed so many people. And also, what gets me every time I watch this movie is the way that he snaps his neck. The family would have died.
Yeah.
Because his eyes would have gone over them and, like, they would have died. So he killed Zod and the family.
Or maybe he was hoping the eyes turn off at the point of impact.
But they didn't, because if you actually watch the clip, his eyes, like, well, the laser, whatever the hell it is, like, actually flicks up, which means that the way, if he had snapped the neck to the left, it wouldn't have hit the family, but he snapped it to the right, which means that the eyes would have gone over the family.
Gone across the family.
Gone across the family. So they did.
Also, I don't understand that, you know, like, the film understands that, like, a person can move their eyes, right? It's not limited to, like, the direction you're facing. Like, he could have just looked at the family and killed them.
Yeah.
Like, Clark holding his head that way shouldn't really have impacted his ability to look at the family.
Unless it was more to do with, because it kind of, like, you know, when you see Zod do it for the first time, like, he can't control it or whatever, it takes over his whole eyes, that maybe it doesn't follow the pupil. Maybe it's the whole head and eye thing.
Maybe you have to align the back of your eye to your pupil so that it's directly coming straight out through your eye sockets, like, because
if you think about it, like, if you think about every time that you've seen Henry do it, or even if you think of Cyclops in X-Men and stuff, their head moves. It's not just the eyes.
Yeah.
So potentially. Anyway, look, that's my justification. Anyway, a couple more that I got here. So in the film, there are multiple images and lines alluding to, I guess, the savior-like nature of Superman. I know we've had a bit of a discussion around how
the fucking Jesus bullshit in this movie.
And then he tells Dr. Hamilton that he's been on Earth for 33 years, which is generally accepted as the age of Jesus Christ when he was crucified.
Again, enough with the Jesus bullshit, Zach. Get it. And
the Kryptonian family name of El is also one of the Hebrew names for God. So basically... and the last one I've got here is that Matt Bomer and Zoe Saldana were on the cards to play Superman and Lois Lane.
Cool.
And that was it. All of my fun facts. Quite a few.
Woo! Thank you. Fun facts with Emma.
Well done,
You're
Emma.
welcome.
So I have some fun facts off the top of Jim's head if you're interested.
I'm very interested.
Yes, please.
Completely unrelated to this movie. I just think they're fun.
I'm really looking forward to this now.
Superman is essentially... like, the two people that created him, Siegel and Schuster, essentially ripped off a book written by the guy who wrote Tarzan called John Carter of Mars. So the idea of John Carter is that this guy gets teleported to Mars, but because Mars's gravity is a third of Earth's, he's basically a superhero. And so, like, Superman is essentially what if John Carter came to Earth.
Whoa.
Yes, and I remember seeing that John Carter movie that they came out with a few years ago as well, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, checks out.
Yeah. And the original Superman movie, again, I highly recommend everybody watch the really that good link that I'll put in the show notes. The original movie was intended to be a 2-part, like 6-hour-long epic movie. Like, I don't know how well you guys know it, but you know the scene in the first movie where Jor-El tells Superman that there will be consequences if he tries to, like, wind back time to save Lois?
No.
And then he saves her and there's seemingly no consequences?
Is that the one where he rotates around the Earth?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He, like, winds back time and then saves Lois. So, like, Jor-El tells Superman that there'll be consequences to his actions if he does this, that he can't save everyone. And then he does it, and then there's no consequences to his actions. In the original design, Superman winding back time was supposed to release Zod from the Phantom Zone, which happened by a nuclear weapon hitting their prison in the second movie.
Okay.
Which makes a lot, like the original design makes more sense. But it just like the producers and the directors had like a massive falling out, even though they'd filmed 75% of the sequel. And he was like, no, fuck all of yous, I'm out. Do it on your own. I don't give a shit anymore.
Aww.
And then they like completely had to like retool the second movie.
In your opinion, do you think it would have been a better movie?
It would have been fucking incredible. It would have been bonkers, but
That's unfortunate. I'm very sorry, Jim.
yeah. Yeah. Oh well.
Sorry for your loss, Jim.
Yeah, again, I recommend everyone go watch the original movie, even if it's just for the wicked tan that fuck, what's his name? Marlon Brando gets from all of the UV lights they had on the Krypton sets.
Oh man.
Anyway.
UV lights.
Oh man, it's such a fucking like 70s fever dream, that movie. Like so much cocaine would have gone into the making of it.
All of the cocaine.
All of the cocaine. Just all of it.
Now we know why Superman can fly.
Don't do drugs, kids. For the love of God, don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs.
Drugs are bad, okay?
Cool.
We should move on to our plans.
We should.
So my plan is pretty simple, and I might have hinted at this a little bit when we were talking earlier about what I thought of Zod's plan. My plan is to, when they get Superman on board the ship and they're like doing the thing where they read his mind and like take his blood and probe him or whatever else they were doing, while you're there, just go on in and snip his spinal cord. He doesn't need it.
Oof.
Not to kill him, just to make him a quadriplegic. None of this
gosh.
Dr. Evil elaborate plan nonsense. Like when I was watching this, I felt like, that scene in the original Austin Powers movie where Seth Green's character is like, what are you doing? I have a gun. We will shoot him. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I felt a little bit like that.
Yes. No, I get you.
Oh, good.
Is that the plan? Because that's a great
That's the plan. Very simple.
I get
Snip
that.
his spinal
'Cause
cord.
My plan is
Gotcha.
nearly just as simple, and that's a bloody brilliant plan. I'm here for it, Jim.
Damn. But what
I get
about
it.
Mrs. Cavill?
Again,
It's a movie.
separate Henry Cavill and Superman again.
Oh, okay, sorry.
No. But like, I completely agree. That's a fantastic plan. I have nothing to because as we all agreed earlier, Zod's plan is good. It's just that there's a couple of things. There's a couple of holes. You've found one. Mine's kind of similar. And yeah. So no, well done, Jim.
Yeah,
Well
I
done.
totally get it because he actually plays no part in the future of his plans at all. So there's really no point keeping him in full function.
No, because they were essentially wanting to kill him anyway.
Yeah.
They had him there. They wanted to find out where the codex was, so they obviously took his blood and whatever. And they didn't need him for anything else. So I get not killing him potentially, and then once they had found out that
You don't kill him because they don't know where the codex is yet.
yeah. So I get that. So I appreciate what you're saying. Like, don't kill him, just sever his spinal cord. And then once they find out that it's in his blood and he doesn't actually, well, one, he's incapacitated and he's just lying there. And two, they said, which doesn't make sense. This is another conversation we had. He would need to be alive for you to get the, surely, like, you know how they were, wouldn't it just,
It's fucking future magic bullshit.
maybe, I don't know. Anyway, but yes,
Anyway,
that was
don't
another,
think about it too
anyway,
hard.
whatever. Yep, it's DC. But yes, no, well done, Jim.
Good plan. Good plan.
Thank you.
So yes, I guess it's probably easier if I go next. So basically, same thing. You got them on the ship. Don't put Lois Lane in the fucking room where your mainframe is.
Oh,
You
that
have
was so
a
stupid.
prison. You have a prison cell. Put her in there. Why'd you, regardless of them thinking whether she had from what you were saying before, Jim, where did he hide that? Regardless
Nature's
of her
pocket.
having, regardless of them thinking that potentially she has that or doesn't have it or whatever, like, don't put her in that room. Like, that's the most fucking important room on your ship, basically. Don't put her in there.
Your ship is designed to send people to an alternate dimension prison.
Yeah.
Put her there.
So basically, that's how simple
in one of those dildos.
my plan is. But also, like, the other flip side and the other thing that I thought of, so it's very similar to yours, Jim, because then they would have had him, he wouldn't have broken free and had Russell Crowe save him and all that shit. So all of that, he still would have been incapacitated and whatever. So it's very similar. But the other thing that I had was like, obviously they had been trying to find him for 33 years or whatever. And then it was basically like, as soon as the beacon went off, they basically like were like, well, shit. And then they like basically put all their cards on the table, really. What they should have done was actually incovertly or covertly, whatever, come to Earth without anybody knowing and actually figure out how Earth works to try and, as strong as they were, to actually sense how it all worked, to give them the most. That was probably the most leverage and the most, because obviously, the fucking heat vision or laser eyes and whatever, all that kind of started to come. If they had even been on Earth just a day beforehand sussing things out, they would have had a lot more power.
They show in the movie that like when they teleport in, they kind of teleport in near the moon. There's a line that I really hate where one of the scientists says like, we're just hoping some amateur with the telescope doesn't spot them. And it's like the image that they have, their ship takes up what looks like a fifth of the angular diameter of the moon. What do you mean some amateur's going to see it? Look at the fucking moon
my
and see it.
I can see that. 100%. Yeah, that annoyed me too. But yeah, so that's my plan, short and sweet. Like obviously the whole putting her in a proper prison thing would have negated the need for them to go to Earth earlier, or why do they even need her on the ship? They don't.
Yeah, why did they take her up there?
They don't.
The plot needed her up there. They didn't.
So part one is don't take Lois Lane on the ship. Then you're done because you basically, Superman can't do anything. And the second thing is if they do happen to take her on the ship because they want some eye candy, whatever, put her in a proper prison cell. Don't put her in the fucking mainframe room. Done. Then you get the world.
Yeah, like...
Done.
I get that they have like super advanced computers and whatnot, but like I wouldn't put a monkey in a room with my computers. What if they like pissed on it or something?
But that's like, I mean, the chances are like, I get it. The chances are no, just don't put her in there. Like that's a pretty important room. Anyway, that's my plan. It's very, very short and sweet, just like yours, Jim.
What would you say to, as a HR rep, what kind of conversation would you be having with the team member that put Lois in that room?
You done fucked up and we're going to need to let you go.
Formal HR lingo right there. That's jargon.
Yeah, look, there definitely would have been words for sure, and he would have been let go, and I'd probably do it for bloody gross misconduct. Although I feel like if that was what I was they don't have HR. I think that's the whole point of them, right?
Yeah. Is that your plan, Ken? Institute a HR program?
Yep, definitely. No.
All right, Ken, what's your plan?
Oh, my plan. Let's see. So my plan is a little bit different to your two.
It has more than one step.
It has more than one step. So I believe they shouldn't have been so hard-handed in their approach to trying to get the codex off our favorite Mr. Superman here. The hard-handed approach didn't really work when they overthrew the government. I think if they're dealing with, an infant child who's sent to an alien planet, they should have been nicer, They should have tried to take the codex from him a bit more diplomatically. Don't broadcast it all over the TV and be like, hey, we want this guy, or threateningly, that's not cool.
Ken's so nice. Jim's just like, let's sever Superman's spine. Ken's like, let's take it the nice way. Let's befriend everyone.
Yeah, although like Emma was saying, like they kind of put all of their cards on the table from the get-go.
Exactly.
Like,
that was not necessary.
Well, you can imagine if that happened, we'd all fucking freak out and be like, where is this guy? Let's find him and give him to him.
He's bringing love, bringing flex.
I'd let someone else do it though. I'd be too scared to go and try and find this guy. But anyway, so another thing is, even if you don't manage to get the codex, you have a world engine, a freaking terraformer. You're saying how gentle and nice Earth is for the Krypton body, that you decided to use this world engine to make it a worse environment for people to live in. That means you have the ability to change any planet to suit what you need. Like, go to Mars or something, go to the underrated Jupiter or something to terraform them.
Jupiter.
Yeah, no one ever talks about Jupiter. So, here's to you, Jupiter.
Yeah.
I really toyed with having this as my plan, Ken, until I realized it was basically the same as my plan from last week.
Oh, am I stealing your plan from last week?
No, you're not.
Anyway, you go to Mars and terraform Mars to be like Krypton, you'll still get the energy from the sun, which is, what makes Superman so great. And, you'll be living on a different planet and, you can rebuild Krypton that way and come back and take over Earth if you really want to.
Yeah.
After you've rebuilt, because the whole building this whole society thing, the whole thing from the beginning is that Kal-El, Superman, was the first naturally conceived Kryptonian.
Yeah. When you started talking about the equipment to rebuild Krypton, I thought you meant like birds and the bees kind of business.
No. Like, as in like, sorry, just, build, you have all the technology, set up a base there. And then from there, you can go and steal the Codex again if he really wouldn't give it to you. Or if you want to, be a bit nicer, just try and convince him to give you the Codex so they can start Krypton again on Mars or Jupiter and, do it that way.
Well, you know what? Straight up lie. Say, I need the Codex to live.
Yes, exactly.
Don't you want to save your race?
Exactly.
I do think I do potentially think that would have worked if they had like gone to a different one and then just kind of like found out where Superman was and was like, hey, bro, look, we're creating our world again. We need the Codex. You might have been a little bit more inclined to do it. But I
guess what? We're going to unbottle Kandor on Mars. You want to come?
But I think the only thing that's potentially stopping with the whole do the nice thing is that obviously the whole point of the Codex is that everybody is put into these buckets of this is who you are and this is what your genetic makeup is. And those guys do not have that in them to do the nice thing because they, as General Zod was saying, that like he was literally created,
genetically designed to
be a
this
military leader.
To protect. Well, I guess so maybe in that regard, but I think because he was made to
it would
create.
have been in Krypton's best interest in that regard.
Yeah, so maybe potentially for that, maybe he might have, but I think it was just more that I don't think that they would go down. It doesn't seem feasible to me that they would go down the nice path to save. But the plan makes sense. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just thinking, and because that's the whole point, I was unable to poke any holes in Jim's on. So I apologize for being mean here, but like I just think that to me is probably the only standout thing in terms of the likelihood of that being able to happen because of their genetic makeup.
I can't argue with that because
and also maybe it's just Michael Shannon's acting, but I also get the sense that he couldn't pull off nice.
No, he just looks mean.
He would just show up and he would be like, "Where is the Cryptex, Cal?" And Clark would be like, "I don't know what you're talking about." Like, "Where is the Cryptex?"
I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to get that angry just then. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I still love you. Look, I feel like in everything, I don't know if I've seen him in a lot, but I feel like everything I've seen him in, he's just like super intense. Just the same facial expressions. I get that's his face, whatever. No judgment, but judgment. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I kind of thought that, Jor-El, Superman's dad's plan to get him to start off there and then, entrust the Codex to him and so that they can coexist was kind of a stupid plan.
Yeah. But the question...
The Codex itself was already like pre-programmed all these people into a certain society, and you want your son to somehow like live there, learn their ways, and let them coexist, even though they're already pre-programmed. And you're like, that's your society can't function in another society.
But the question that I've got as well is that if he's got the Codex in him, does that like make him stronger by any means, or like what? I don't see the.
I don't think so.
You know what I mean?
It's like, basically just a big hard drive.
Yeah. And then it's kind of like Russell Crowe screwed him over because he knew that they would come and find him, and likelihood of them killing him to find it. Like he's kind of set him up for
failure.
Yeah.
For failure, yeah.
Yep.
Thanks, Dad.
Again, poor management.
But I do. Look, I get that there's only so much you could have done.
All right, we need to decide on a winner then.
Oh,
it's going to be
God.
hard. Round 3. 1, 2, 3. Ken.
Jim.
Oh, yes! You won again, Jim.
Again. Woo, go Jim.
You know what I'm so impressed with? Or maybe not impressed is the wrong word.
That you didn't use space?
No, that we've never had...
Space was just involved.
We've never yet had a three-way tie.
Oh.
Like, it's possible, like, we could all vote for someone else.
Yep.
And we would have a three-way tie, and that hasn't happened yet. And I'm very impressed.
Nice. Good point.
But thank you, friends. Now I've got to come up with a headline, don't I?
You do.
Yeah, what's your headline, Jim?
Rolling Krypton and on, baby. All ties with Superman have been cut.
Hectic.
Nerd.
Well done, Jim.
Well, thank you for playing, friends.
Good work, Jim.
It's been great. Look. I'm just here to have fun. I'm not expecting to do very well this season. I'm trying to come up with the most simple plans and just see what happens.
Nice. Oh, guys, the next part is the Dumb Ad Nation.
Forgot about that.
I forgot about that, Jim.
Here we go. Welcome to Dumb Ad Nation, a podcast within a podcast. No, it's an ad within a podcast within a podcast. Yes. A fake ad within a podcast within a podcast? Yes, let's go with that.
Jesus.
So, kid, do you want to be just like Superman? Or, if you're a bit on the evil side, General Zod?
Yes.
Do you want to experience artificial Krypton atmosphere?
Yes.
Artificial Krypton gravity?
Tell me more.
Yes, well, you're in luck. Today, we introduce to you the Strap-On World Engine.
Will it let me go real deep?
It will, young man. Carefully engineered by our allegedly Kryptonian science officer with 2 bags of rice, 4 belts, a surgical mask, and an old vacuum cleaner filter, you can get the full Kryptonian experience. Limited numbers only. Batteries sold separately. What for? I don't know. Do not use while swimming and are not suitable for children and people with respiratory diseases. So none of you people with COVID right now. Sorry.
Oh my
And
God.
that's it.
Get yours today.
Get yours today.
Where can I get one?
Look up in the sky, and if you see the dildo ship, that is it. Sorry.
Flag the dildo ship down.
What was your product called again, Ken?
A strap-on world engine.
Jesus.
Strap-on World Engines are sold wherever intimate products... No.
May choke you a little, but not in the way you think.
Just enough to feel erotic, but not enough to kill you. Oh,
Cut
wow.
that bit out, Jim, please.
Yeah. Cool.
Well done, Ken.
Yay, thank you.
Your brain, man. Well done. Well done.
Thanks for playing, friends.
Yes, thank you. It was another great episode.
Yeah, I had a great time.
Yeah, it was really nice.
And thanks for listening along at home, everyone. But we're going to keep the next episode as a little Christmas surprise for you.
Christmas. It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Woo!
And yeah, I guess we'll see you all next time for our World Domination Christmas special, Sci-Fi edition.
Dun,
See
dun,
you then.
dun. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Call me.
It never gets old. Thanks for listening to World Domination. You can find links to all of the things we've talked about, our other episodes, our merch, and our social media accounts at anchor.fm/worlddomination. If you'd like to tell us something, feel free to get in touch. And remember, if you enjoyed the show, make sure to tell your mum about it.
My Audacity is recording now, just BT dubs.
Oh, perfect. I was just about to ask about that. Are we good to get going then?
We sure are, Jim. We sure are.
Do you guys have anything else to bring up before we start recording?
No, I'm very excited to talk about Henry Cavill shirtless.
I thought you might be.
I had so many thoughts about this.
Me too. But probably about a different aspect of the movie than you were thinking. Definitely not about the shirtless Henry Cavill scene.
No, actually, I was rewatching it, and well, let's start, then we can chat about it. But yes.
All right.